I look like the ghost from Christmas Past. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I feel like I have not been in this room, this OG room, for such a long time filming a video, and we're back with the horrific winter lighting. It's literally 2:30 in the afternoon right now and it is basically dark outside. Welcome to England. Today's video, I thought I would film top tips for people who have recently been diagnosed with MS, because if you are like me and had no idea really what MS was and didn't understand it, I feel like I have some pointers and tips that I can give to you, as I was in that position and I was a very naive little person when I got diagnosed. I've just turned my little £8 light down a notch because I just felt like I was too ghostly pale in the previous clip. But yes, so I am going to give you some of the tips that I created myself and did in order to kind of deal with, process, cope with a diagnosis of MS at the age of 22. So my first tip is take your time. This is something, by the way, all these tips are things that I did do or things that maybe I should have done in hindsight. So taking your time was not something that I actually did. I kind of put my fingers in my ears and ignored the diagnosis, thought whatever, I'm going to get my life back on track, get back to where you were, don't listen to your body, don't listen to your head, just get back to where you were as a healthy 22-year-old. So I was saying all these things to myself and was ignoring the fact that I was 22, I had just come out of hospital. Yeah, I could walk, but I was very unsteady still, and I had a long way still to go in terms of my recovery after my relapse. So the first tip is take your time. I'm not sure if I will ever get over my diagnosis, and whenever I've said this on Instagram or YouTube or whatever, the amount of people that have come back to me saying I've had MS for such and such amount of years and I'm still not over my diagnosis and don't think I'll ever get over it. So it's such a huge life-changing thing, this diagnosis, and don't try, I don't know what that sound was, don't try and force yourself to, I don't know, ignore what your head is saying or your body is telling you and try and go back to your old life immediately after your diagnosis. And if you are struggling with your diagnosis, as everyone does, although I have not got over my diagnosis, I have accepted it now, but it has taken me the good part of 2 years. I would say maybe after a year or a year and a half, I was feeling like, yeah, you know, it's pretty shit, but I can't change it, so I'm just gonna get on with my life. That was really my mindset set from the start, but you know, I was still dealing with all the emotional stuff at the start as well. So just know that accepting your diagnosis is going to take a while, and I don't think you should force yourself to accept things. I think you should, as best as you can, and this is something that I definitely didn't do, but as best as you can, just try and chill and just try and give yourself the space and time, like in your own head, to process things. I mean, what I did was I didn't do that. I ignored everything. I pushed everything back. And then, unfortunately, I kind of developed some mental health problems because of that, because I didn't deal with it. So please don't make yourself mentally ill by not taking the time to be kind to yourself and giving yourself a break and process things as long as it takes you to process. But Also, you will get there, don't worry about it. I struggled for a while, but you will get there and feel good within yourself again. My next tip is, this is from me talking as someone who didn't know what MS was at all, is educate yourself. I made a video called How I Gained Control Over My MS Diagnosis, which I will link down below. And in that, I talk about how I educated myself about what MS is, how I can help myself and help my condition, and how I can live in a way which hopefully will result in me having less relapses. And I talk about loads of books and websites and things that I found that really helped me. So yeah, check that video out. But just for this one, I'm going to show you 2 books which revolutionised my opinion of my future with MS, and really educated me and relaxed me and let me know there are other ways that I can treat this condition other than just hard medication. And these 2 books. So the first one that I ever found is Managing Multiple Sclerosis Naturally, a self-help guide to living with MS by Judy Graham. Amazing book. Quite small compared to this one, so very easy to read. And yeah, I don't know if you can see, but I've got loads of pages that I've crossed down. So yeah, I would really highly recommend that. That was my first kind of insight into MS, but really the one that I should have found first is this one, which is Overcoming Multiple Sclerosis, the evidence-based 7-step recovery program by Professor George, I can never say this word, Jelinek. We'll just call him Jelinek. So this is weighty and has so much information in there, and through this book I found the Overcoming Multiple Sclerosis lifestyle and diet, which I follow and feel amazing on. And yeah, these 2 books really helped me at the start of my MS diagnosis. So with education and MS, as well as these books, I'd highly recommend literally Googling MS, because I never actually researched it, because one MS nurse told me in hospital, don't look up MS ever, don't read about it because you'll scare yourself. So I thought, oh okay, right. So I never ever looked at anything until I actually got diagnosed, and I was like, oh, whatever, I need to know what this disease is like. So you need to look at the actual kind of science behind MS and this condition. So yeah, look at things like the NHS, look on multiple sclerosis charity websites, because they often have loads of information on there. But it's little things like, when I was recovering after my relapse, say if I got really tired or really stressed or really anxious, I would start experiencing the same symptoms as I was experiencing before my first relapse, which terrified me. Things like pins and needles in my arms and legs, things like restless leg syndrome, and neurological kind of like itchy skin, or yeah, just things like that. And that honestly scared the living daylights out of me. And I remember I got out of hospital, I was obviously devastated because I'd just been diagnosed with MS, and I was so sad, and I cried for days, and I just wasn't in a good space and wasn't sleeping. And then I started having these pins and needles in my arms and legs again, and I thought, how the hell am I having another relapse? I've just come out of hospital, what on earth? But bear in mind, I did get diagnosed with aggressive MS, and in the space of me being in hospital, I'd grown another 2 lesions in my brain, and I was in hospital for 6 weeks. So I was like in a state of panic and felt like I was walking on eggshells. But yeah, what I didn't understand was recovering from a relapse is going to take a long time, and whilst your body is recovering, you're gonna probably experience symptoms like that again. That's not to say that you're having another relapse, that's just to say that, you know, your body is getting used to how it is now. Messages traveling down your nerves are gonna be bouncing off all over the place, and everything is not flowing properly, and your body is just not right. But that it doesn't mean to say that if you experience symptoms straight after a relapse that you're having another one. It's just that your body is trying to like heal things and get used to flowing again. So yeah, educate yourself so you don't stress yourself out like me. I literally remember I Snapchatted a friend like, I'm having another relapse, how the hell is this happening? When I wasn't. It was just my body trying to find its way through all the confusedness in my nervous system. So another thing, after you've educated yourself, whatever, I would recommend, if you haven't done this, telling someone. The amount of people that message me on my Instagram saying, I've got MS, I haven't told anyone, what should I do, is crazy. And it's really hard for me to imagine what people go through if they are doing this by themselves, because like I've said in my last video, I uploaded my first YouTube video, I shared it on my Facebook originally, because originally the video I created so I could just tell everyone, because I was 22, you know, at that stage in your life you're so social and you have loads of people around you, so I had a lot of people who knew that I was in hospital, and I just thought, I don't want to tell every single person like physically face to face, so I made this video. So literally everyone in my life, or who has me on Facebook, and let's be honest, people have friends on Facebook that they don't even remember how they became friends. So yeah, they know that I have MS. So for me, I can't imagine living your life with MS with no one there who knows that you have MS. So if you can find the courage, just tell one person, be it your mum, your grandma, your dad, your best friend, your boss, like anyone who you trust and you have a really strong relationship with. Tell them. They are going to be there to support you. I know that people really struggle, especially to tell, you know, like their partners or something. But just an MS diagnosis doesn't mean your life is over. Yeah, it means it might get a little bit rocky at times, but you gotta stay strong and have the hope that there is going to be a cure in our lifetime. I promise you. So you just need to ride out the rocky patches, and if you have someone there, you are not alone, and just you start to build a support network around you, which I think is essential to have. Whew. Okay, so next step. You've taken your time to process things, you've educated yourself, you've started to build a little support network around you, and now the focus is back on you again. If you are anything like me, you've just been recently diagnosed, you're devastated, completely heartbroken, devastated, scared, unsure about the future, don't know which direction to go in, don't know what you can do, don't know what you can't do. You're probably really quite down in the dumps, but you're sick of being down in the dumps, and you're angry, and you're thinking, I've been diagnosed with this disease, why has this happened? What am I going to do? Am I going to be upset and sad forever? And that's when you need to think, is this going to make or break me? If you're not ready to get out of the ball of sadness you're probably in, that's fine. Go back to stage one. Take your time to accept things and, you know, make sure your head is okay. But if you feel like I'm completely ready, I've got support, some people behind me, then try your best to change your thinking to, this diagnosis is gonna make me and it's not gonna break me. And that is the ethos that has kept me going and keeps me going every single day, and takes me to the gym when I don't want to go to the gym, and takes me out for a run in the rain, in the cold nights of England, that pushes me forward every single day, that gives me this confidence like, I don't care. I have this disease and I'm going to push myself forward every single day. And to me, making this channel is me literally letting MS make me. I feel like this has been the best decision I've made, just putting myself out there, because the amount of connections I get with people is just so rewarding. And yeah, I'm so happy that I did that, and I'm so happy that this MS pushes me to the gym, because I feel like every time I go to the gym, it's me like pushing MS further and further away and out of my life and giving me the power. But it doesn't mean to say that you're not letting this disease make you if you don't go to the gym. Some people don't like the gym, like it's fine. You don't have to push yourself to do things you don't want to do. But maybe there's something that you always wanted to do your whole life and you've never done it. Why don't you do that now and be like, ha, I'm doing this, I've wanted to do this my whole life. Yeah, I've got this diagnosis, but this hasn't stopped me from doing that, and now I'm doing it, and I've always wanted to do it, and I'm having a great time. It's things like that, and it doesn't have to be something massive like climbing a mountain or learning the piano. It can be something like going for a walk you've always wanted to go on, or going on holiday by yourself or something like that, even though that's actually quite a big deal. But it can be reading a book you've always wanted to read, or watching a TV series you've always wanted to see. Like, it doesn't have to be a massive thing. It can be little tiny things that you do every day that you can look back on and think, yes, I did this, this is how I've succeeded today, so I am a winner. My next tip kind of ties into the making or the breaking. So I feel like we've all done a bit of education, you know, maybe we've read a book, maybe we've found a eating style, lifestyle that resonates with you, and you think, yes, now is the time for me to start looking after my body. And that is the next tip. Start to think about looking after your body, whether that's getting a bottle of vitamin D supplements, whether that's eating less meat, whether that's going hardcore vegan, whether that's starting a training program at the gym with a trainer. Like, looking after yourself now that we've got this disease is crucial. You need to look after yourself anyway, regardless of, you know, a condition or no condition. So I think start to really have a think about how you're gonna look after yourself, whether that's going to bed, you know, an hour earlier, or resting when you wouldn't have rested before. All these little things are really going to help protect the body. We want to eat things that is good for our brain, our nervous system. We want to, yeah, really look after our body, because if you had a relapse like my first one, which I will link my first video down below where I talk about my relapse, you would do anything to not go back to where I was 2 years ago, where I lost my legs and I lost my arms. I was paralysed in a hospital bed. Following on from that, if you feel like you're ready, if you feel like you're strong enough, start working on your flaws. So my flaws were my left leg mainly and my left arm mainly. Now that I've worked on my two sides of the body separately in the gym, like doing isolated exercises to help send messages specifically to my right arm or my left arm or whatever, my left leg is, I would say, what is that noise? Yeah, so I would say that my left leg is 95% recovered, which, whew, I didn't think was going to happen. It's taken me 2 years for my leg to come back. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know in August I randomly ran on the treadmill and realised that for the first time in a year, 2 years, I could run using my left leg. Before, my left leg used to just like plod along next to my right leg. My right leg was having all the power and like pushing off, and my left leg was just plodding next to it. But now I put weight through my left leg when I run and I spring up off of it. It's still not exactly the same as the right leg, and it still can't extend as far as the right leg, but my goodness me, Whereas before I could not run a 5k, like I can run 12k's now, which is insane. Never ever thought I was going to say that, because I accepted where I was in my recovery. But yeah, exercise has been so incredibly paramount to my success in recovering from my relapse, and it is crucial to how I am now. So if you feel like you can, I would highly recommend it. But obviously, please get doctors' approval. Just try and get back into exercise, but don't do it if you're not going to be safe, because that just defeats the whole point, really. So I think my last point is know that healing, as in the body healing, and you accepting the diagnosis, where you are at in your life, your future, whatever, everything, the condition, takes time. And as hard as it is not to, just don't try and put pressure on it. I think just try to relax, do things that make you happy, have nice candlelit baths, watch films, take your dog for a walk, stroke your cat. Like, this is probably the hardest thing that you may face in your life, and I think that I definitely put pressure on myself to, you know, get back on track with my life immediately, when I should have just rested and relaxed and maybe got counselling or something to help me try and accept my condition from the start, instead of me just ignoring everything and was desperate to get back to my life when I wasn't ready. But yeah, hindsight is a really, you know, big thing, and I'm saying this 2 years down the line, and I feel like now I'm completely have accepted everything, and it's taken 2 years. But know that, I mean, for example, my leg coming back randomly after 2 years of not being able to use it, healing does take time, but if you put time and effort into it and just try and relax and take things slowly and eat well and look after yourself, things will happen. And I really hope that for every single person that watches this video. And yeah, I wanted to make this video because I find that a lot of people find my Instagram or find my YouTube who have just been newly diagnosed with MS, and I just really feel like I resonate with these people so much, because everyone kind of messages me like, I don't know what to do and everything, and I really didn't know what to do. So hopefully this video has helped a tiny bit, but everyone is on their own individual MS journey. But yeah, wherever you are in your kind of accepting of your diagnosis, I wish you luck, and I wish you a recovery from relapses if you are facing that. And yeah, I wish you strength, because, well, after you get out of the kind of hellish bubble you are in, you will realise how strong you are as a person. Like, I realised that I am a very strong person, and everyone in the whole world is strong in their own individual ways, and I didn't see that before I got diagnosed, so there's a little positive there. But yeah, I really hope this video has helped. Maybe it hasn't, and maybe it has. If it has, please give me a like and subscribe to my channel. This is my second video this week, hopefully, if I get it up when I want it to, and I'm gonna aim for at least one video a week, maybe 2 videos a week. So make sure you put the bell on the subscription box so you know when I upload, and please follow me on my Instagram at Izzy_MS. I'm going to post more frequently on there. Well, I post more frequently on there anyway than I do on here. So yeah, follow me on there. Feel free to message me. I do try to reply to every person. And yeah, I hope you all have a lovely day. And also, I chopped all my hair off. I mean, I didn't, but the hairdresser did. So what do you think? Before it was like down to here, and my hairdresser just looked at me like, your hair looks like a mess, so I need to cut it short. So I thought, okay, take my money and take my hair. But yeah, bit of a tangent there. Yeah, I hope you all have a lovely day. I will see you in my next video, which will hopefully be next week, if I stay true to my word.